Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and today, in celebration of the Grand Tournament being live, we are going to look at the new Mage cards. Let us get into our collection. Click over here to Mage. So we want to go in the crafting mode to see what we have. Include those soulbound cards just in case. And then click over here and filter to just Grand Tournament. We're going to go through every single card that is from the Grand Tournament and look at them and just give our quick analysis on how good we think they are. First one is a 1-mana spell called Arcane Blast. Deal 2 damage to a minion. This spell gets double bonus from spell damage. So I've seen this new double bonus from spell damage stuff, and it is going to definitely be a game changer. It's going to make the mage probably way more overpowered in some decks, and it is definitely going to change the Guinness's world record for the longest game of Hearthstone possible, because the way that the strategy I've seen to make the world's longest turn of Hearthstone is to lock the game into doing specific actions way past the time limit. And the one I've seen went for, I believe, 48 hours. And I suspect that with these new cards, he'll be able to do several times that, at least twice. Next card is the Fallen Hero. It is a 2-mana, 3 attack, 2 health, and your hero power deals 1 extra damage. The mage's hero power costs 2 mana and does 1 damage to either a hero or a minion, your choice. You get to pick what the target is. And with this card, then you would, for 2 mana, do 2 damage, and you can have 2 of these. So if you have 2 of these on the field, it can then do 3 damage. There's no limit being stated here. If you can figure out a way to use like mirror entity or clone it, you could get up to 7 of these. Then you would be doing 8 damage for 2 mana if you got a deck full of these, on top of them being 3/2 creatures, which are pretty good for 2 mana. So far so good. That's a pretty good card. I'd almost certainly have that in the mage deck. Next card is a spell, 3 mana, and it is Effigy. It's a secret. When a friendly minion dies, summon a random minion with the same cost. Now, I am pretty sure that there is a card like this already in existence. I don't know if it was a neutral card or one of the other character classes, but for this card to be allowed in Mage also, in the Mage class also, shows that it probably will be allowed in different ways in most of the character classes. And is it a good card? It's kind of expensive, I would say. For 3 mana, uh, it's kind of expensive. But there's ways I could see you could play with it. If you could somehow summon something that was a 10 mana creature on an early turn, and then that 10 mana creature was very weak, but then Effigy replaced it with a very strong 10 mana creature, you could get something powerful out of that. But that puts a lot of power in the other player's hand, which is generally not how you want to play. The next card we have is Polymorph Boar. It is 3 mana and it transforms a minion into a 4/2 boar with charge. Unlike the other polymorph that turns them into a 1/1 chicken, I believe, this is a useful card on both sides of the field. You could use it to turn something very powerful with more health into this and then attack it and kill it, or you could use this to transform something weak on your side of the field into something more powerful and attack. You can even attack with something on your side of the field, then use this to transform it, and since it has charges, you could attack again. So you could get a 1-turn Wind Fury-like attack there. Next card is the 3 mana, 3 health, 3 attack, 4 health Spellslinger. It has a battle cry. It adds a random spell to each player's hand. I probably wouldn't play this card because this card has a very random effect depending on who you're playing against. And when you're playing in Hearthstone, you're going to be playing against all different types of people with all different class decks. And so if you were playing Mage to Mage and you played this, you might have a pretty bad effect. If you were playing, say, Mage to maybe a Priest, it wouldn't probably be that bad to give a spell to a Priest because the Priest is just going to heal his own cards. And so I probably wouldn't play that just for the randomness of it, because you can't really control who you're playing against, so you're going to be playing against everybody. Next card is the 4 mana, 3 attack, 5 health, Delirian Aspirant. I wish I knew what an aspirant was. Is that just a person who aspires to be a knight? Is that an old English term? Let me know in the comments if you know what that word means, if it means anything. Is he aspiring or inspiring? Make up your mind. And of course the reason why it says that in the flavor text here is because he has the Inspire ability to gain spell damage +1. Now, as I read this, I'd have to wait until I see somebody play this or I play this. But as I read this, every time you use your hero ability, he's just going to have reaffirmed that he has spell damage +1. I don't think this means he is going to, every time you use your hero ability, go from spell damage +1 to spell damage +2 to spell damage +3. I don't believe that's the case. That would be cool, but that's not how it's being written. So I'll have to wait till people play it. As I understand how it works right now, I think I probably would play this character because you do want your spell damage up as much as possible in most mage decks. Next one we have is the 5 mana spell Flame Lance, deals 8 damage to a minion. I think this one is pretty overpowered. I've seen people play it. 5 seems really cheap to do 8 damage to a minion. But if you need to do 8 damage to a minion, there's only a couple minions I know that 8 damage is necessary and would kill them. Most of the minions that are above 4 or 5 or 6 health are pretty high level anyways, so I think this is too cheap, but also I don't think it really is that useful. I think you could do better with some of the other cards, but I'll keep an eye on it. I'll think about it. Next one we have is the 6 mana, 6 health, 6 attack. It is the Caldara Drake. You can use your hero power any number of times. So, say you summon this on your 9th turn. Well, then the 10th turn, your hero power of the mage costs 2. You could use it 5 times to do 1 damage each time. With the combination of several other cards that are here that would make your hero power do more damage. And then there is a combination I have seen while playing this in the Tavern Brawl that was available before this came out, where something like this would work out, but it takes a lot of work to get to this point, and I think very quickly the opponents on Hearthstone are going to see what you're doing. Mage deck is like the easiest deck for newbies, and I think they are sticking to that by putting some pretty overpowered and some pretty crazy cards in here. And the last card we have is Rondon. Is that how it's pronounced? It'd be kind of cool if if they had like audio that said these guys' names when you clicked on them. But it's it's not Rondin, it's Ronin. I know what a Ronin is. Okay, now that I see the word better, I don't know if that's how you spell Ronin, but that's what that's supposed to be. It is an 8 mana, 7 attack, 7 health. Uh, Ronin actually means a masterless samurai. It probably has more cultural meaning than just that, but that's what it means. And okay, so Ronin here has a death rattle that adds 3 copies of arcane missiles to your hand. So definitely gonna beat that world's longest game, because the world's longest game did work by using uh, arcane missiles and Prophet Valen and several other spells and things to do ridiculous amounts of damage. And so by this card existing, that is going to make give more arcane missiles to whoever's trying to break the Genesis world record, or Guinness's. Uh, so I look forward to seeing the record being broken. It would be almost something that I would bother to try to do, but I don't have time for it. I'm too busy playing other games and reviewing other games. And you should check out those other games by clicking on my name, Rydo, and going to my main YouTube page and clicking on that playlist tab to see all the videos I've done. Anywho, that's going to be it for this episode. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click that and make a donation. And if you would, could you friend and follow me on all the social media sites that I have links down in the description for. Things like Twitter and Facebook and so on. Follow me on those, that helps me. It will help you see when new episodes come out. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.